All right, folks. We back in the lab, back in the studio. Captain's Log Podcast. I am your host, Robert Marbury. Special guest joining me tonight, my man Big Twist. What's happening?
What's up, baby? How you feeling?
Good, man. Good. I'm glad I get you in, man. I ain't seen you in a minute. You looking good, looking healthy. Look like you eating good.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Trying.
How's everything, man? How's the family? How's life?
Everything's good, man. Family's doing well. Been back and forth down south, taking care of business down there, coming back home, making sure moms and the family here is good. Other than that, man, everything's good. Job is good.
How the bikes running?
Bike's running pretty good, man. I actually sold my my Superman,
Sold the
man.
Superman?
One of my baby Superman. I had to sell
You was
it,
smacking
man.
on that joint, man.
Yes, it was fed by a couple folk out there in the street,
I seen the videos.
Yeah.
So just one little house rule, you know what I'm saying? Because these are dynamic mics, if you see me going like this, that means you're not close enough to the mic and it's not going to pick you up.
Tenfold.
All right? So that's it. I think you'd be good.
Right.
So just give me a resume, man. Give me your background as far as bike life, man. When you started, what bikes you was riding, you know what I'm saying? Where you at now, all that.
Yeah, well, back in the day, man, I actually started on a 125, little Yamaha, and worked my way up from there, man. My cousin, Reggie, rest his soul, man, he passed away. Before I even found out he was actually my cousin, he taught me how to ride a little street bike, and from there, man, it just, progressed, and I started following another good friend of mine, Mark Taylor. He had one of the most consistent times on his Hayabusa whenever he would run
on the drag strip.
On the drag street,
Okay.
and on the drag strip and in the street. So basically, learning from them from 1987 till now, knock on wood, I never went down.
Really?
Never
No
went down.
tumbles?
No tumbles. Oof. Well, I can't really call it a tumble, but
Well, no serious crash.
no serious crash.
Okay.
Yeah, But other than that, man, being on a bike is peaceful to me. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Therapy.
And that's the one thing I love about riding, man. I don't get out here. I'm not in competition with anybody. It's just basically riding. I've been here for so many years. I just turned 50 in March, so it's like,
Congratulations, man.
yeah, man, it's like, it's a completely different mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, now, why not help the little, the newer generation of riders, teach them a little something that you actually know.
I think you was actually even schooling folks up when I was on the scene. When we first ran into each other, my bike club days, man. You was out there spitting the knowledge. I don't remember what you was riding when I met you. I started riding in 2011, 12. What was you riding then?
ZX10.
I think you was on the ZX10. Then you
Yeah.
had 14 too, didn't you?
Yeah.
I remember 14. That's what I remember.
Everybody remember that.
I remember the 14. I was like, man, it's a wild dude here, bro.
Yeah, everybody. That's the one thing I was noted for. A lot of people would say that I was wild. I didn't see it, but
Well, I mean, to me coming on the scene, and I had always recognized who the OGs were, and I just thought you were very efficient for the bike you was on, even just riding up and down the highway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, damn, I mean, that shit stretched out, it's lowered, and you still just pushing it through the cars like that, man. I mean, you just really couldn't beat that adrenaline rush, especially when you see somebody doing like, damn, I'm trying to, what I got to do that, and it's just like, I mean. Either you got to have big balls or you or you just got to put some time in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fun, man. I mean, when you actually see guys out there doing it, we can go way back as I would watch guys back in the 90s, man. The Ronnie Reeses, the X-Mans, you name it. Like Gary, Gary Thompson.
Say the bike scene was wild in the 90s and 2000s.
I mean, them boys, man, let me tell you, man, from the old FJ12s and the Gixxer 1100s, man, those bikes, man, back then, the carburetor bikes, those bikes back then, man, if you wasn't riding that, you wasn't riding nothing, something that had power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you had these little small guys riding these bikes, man, and, just turning it up. And you got to catch them. You got to know what you're doing. So I learned from the OGs.
So what was the main route back then? What was the route? The route when I was riding was if you was gonna blaze the street, you probably went from the boulevard up 50. You probably went from the boulevard to Arundel Mills or something, or maybe from IKEA to 83 and back. What was the routes back then?
Well, the routes back then, for what I remember, Haynes Point, Suitland Parkway, Haynes Point. Chill down, Haynes Point.
Parkway, dangerous, man. Woo, Suitland Parkway scary, dog. You ain't no room. It ain't no room for error
really
on there.
Nah, it didn't, man. And back then, Suitland Parkway it's nothing like what it is now.
It wasn't smooth like it is now. Yeah.
Then you got 295 down to V Street, and then you got V Street to 50 all the way back down to 95 or 301. It all depends on where we want to actually, get it in or, do some racing, But, again, back then, like now, technology's different. So you couldn't really video all that stuff back then, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do it now.
Everybody got a GoPro on their bike. Right. They record everything, man. I seen a video of this dude, man. I was at BMW group. And the guy made a full-fledged YouTube, real spiffy video talking about, yeah, man, I was riding the bike so hard, man. There's no tread on the bike.
Right.
So there's no tread on the tire. So I'm looking, I'm like, bro, that's a slick. You out here in the canes with a slick on?
Yeah.
All right, come on, man. Knowing what I know now would never do that. You know
right.
What I'm saying?
It's guys, back then that, took the time out to read the magazines, They didn't have everything on TV that you can see, the Isle of Man and, different tracks that they show now and, GP. So you got, back then you had guys that actually did all the reading, checked into whatever tires they wanted to run on their bikes, and next thing you know, they out in the street doing it,
Then people just putting what their man's
now,
put on.
Yeah, now.
It's
a bunch of Mr. Me Too's out there.
I was notorious for that. When I was riding, my first bike was the 2002 Gixxer 600 Superland.
Okay, right.
Same one headlight out, yellow joint, call it Granddaddy.
Right.
Joint had a lot of miles on it, but it was a good bike though. You know what I'm saying? I kept switching from the pipe that was on it, long pipe, to the little shorty joint because I wanted the sound. And I was just like, it was like, bro, like, you're not getting nothing out of that though. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, well, I want to be cool, so it don't matter, leave me alone. And when I got the bike, I think it had like some Bridgestones on it. It's just what it came with. So then around that time, this is when the Michelin 2CT thing was popping.
Right.
This is when, if you ain't had a 2CT on, 2CTs, you ain't had the stickies on. So ran them for a minute. Then we started realizing the 2CTs wasn't hooking up like that.
Yep.
So then people started running the Dunlops. Started running the Q3s. Like, oh yeah, let me put the Q3s on. And the Q3s was a good tire, but they just took forever to heat up. And the next thing you know, Wally go buy the BMW and he got Pirelli Supercourse on this. So I'm like, the bike come with those on? Woo! But then we started noticing we burning these shits up too fast. So, but at that point,
that super soft compound,
that was the pinnacle of tires for the street. So people just kept buying the tires. So definitely a lot of money spent. I really think about how many miles I put on the bike. When I bought my 2005 Gixxer 1000, loved that bike. Man, I put 30,000 miles on that bike.
I remember that bike too.
I
remember that bike.
I dogged that bike so hard, man. Look, I rode it to work, got off work, took the long way home, come home, put the full leathers on, come back out.
That's the only way to ride, man. You don't want to take the short way.
Nah, and just turn around. I was just like, damn, I had changed the oil about 6 times.
Right.
Through 1 year. And Wally, he was like, man, you know. But this is when we was, getting ready to start going to the track.
Right.
Man, that bike wasn't going to pass tech. Let me tell you something. I'm glad I made it out in one piece. The best thing I could have did was crash that bike. That bike was.
I remember. Yeah,
that bike was.
And you took that on. You took that out on Harry S, right?
That bike? Oh yeah, I was all over her ass on that.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when you went down.
No. We were at initially we were in Montgomery County. We was in Briggs Cheney.
Okay.
On the ICC, they got a loop. They got a loop that if you keep circling around, it's real wide turn.
Mm-hmm.
So we was out there. It was us and it was late riders.
Okay.
Was guys was out there. So we was running that, and I think they had a prospect. He had crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt his shoulder and shit. Somebody came and picked his bike up.
It
was a pool party.
Okay.
It was a pool party over there by the IHOP on Route 1. So it was us. It was the Bama Rojas that ride the BMW. He was out there, and we ran the joint a couple times. And then when old boy fell, we was like, well, let's just hit the cookout. So then it was a bunch of us, Lil Sierra and them.
Right.
And we was heading back up. You know, they were like newer riders at the time.
Right.
So we coming up the road, and it was a guy. He was in a little Civic Si. Never forget it. New Jersey tags. And you know, we was kind of mushing a little bit through the traffic. Just, you know, the rule of thumb is always just stay faster than the traffic. You never know what's going on behind you.
Right.
So he was swerving through the lanes trying to get on the bikes. He was kind of getting close. So I kind of went, you know, on the far right side. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? To tell him to chill.
Yeah.
But by that time, he already bump me off the road.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm like, I'm hitting the brake, ain't got no brake because my supposed to been change the brakes.
Right.
So I just kind of go right past the guardrail, and as soon as I hit the gravel, boom.
Right.
And the bike just fell. Bike was tore up. I jumped up like,
yeah,
man.
I remember.
I was so pissed because I had just got the clutch basket fixed.
Right. When you posted the pictures, man, I said, God.
Well, well, you know how it was. I don't know how it is. I don't know how it is now. But back in the day, if somebody you knew crashed and ain't nobody hear nothing, everybody pulling up PG Hospital.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I was like, let me put this out there to, you know what I mean, put some humor on, let everybody know I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? We good. And there still was a bunch of people who had pulled up. But I was fine. I mean, my arm was a little sore, but I didn't break nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the bike was destroyed, though.
Yeah, man. I remember you put that little RIP up there, and I said, oh, God, he just messing around. I said, it's done now. You know, so it was just, I guess it was a way for you to just go ahead and get something that you knew that you actually wanted.
Man, I'm not going to lie, man. I was hooked on the BMW from the day I saw it, man. The BMW S1000R, man, 2013. Wally had the 12. He had a red and white one. And then he got the 15 now. Or 15 or 16 now.
I thought it was 15.
And I just watched how much better it was than every other bike at that time.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking about I would really be on it. We'd be on 50 and I'd be smacking my shit. It was me, him, and Ghost. And we was somewhere out. We was down 301. We was running 301 full speed at night. Man, they stopped at the light. Wally just hit the brake. This shit stopped. I slid through the damn light. If it would have been any cars, it'd have been done. And then I just kept seeing these instances. I was like, man, he fucking my shit up out here, man. Even though Wally was always faster rider than me on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just couldn't keep up, dog. So when I just sat there and I was gonna buy, when I got the money, I had got they gave me $7,000 for the bike. Right. And then they gave me like $3,500 for my gear. Right. So I said, shit, I had a cool 10,000 and I was gonna go buy a new Jixer. And he was like, Wally was like, it's time to upgrade your life.
It sounds like it too.
he's like, it's time to upgrade your life. So he just kept sending me BMWs. Sending me BMWs. And we found the one in West Virginia, not too far from the track. Right. And the guy sold it to me for $11,000. And I could tell he was tracking it because you can tell it was burn marks on the fairings from where he had the old exhaust. You only get burn marks if you're pushing it hard on OEM fairings. Of course. So I knew, I was like, he been tracking it, but the bike only had like 9,000 miles on it. And it's still sitting in the garage getting it done 6 years later. But now, which we'll get into the track shit, the BMW is, unless you got a 2020,
you ain't doing nothing.
It's obsolete out there, man. The R1 is king right now.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to talk about injuries, though, man. I done seen a lot of people. We have seen a lot of people crash. We've seen a lot of people pass, man. You know, I was, when I first came on the scene with Wild Bunch, you know what I'm saying? They had the Death in the Club, Sticks, rest in peace, Sticks. Yes, right. You know, this was all new for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to find out, that he had lost his life. And, you know, I think that was maybe the second or third instance where I had questioned whether this bike shit was for me. You know, when I first got my license, me and Gus, we used to ride with the guys who wheelie. You know, at the time, you don't know nobody. You'll always find them on the street. So, all right, we back. Yeah. So, we were out.
Right.
You know, we out all day, wheeling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just riding. I'm like, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the guy, he wheelied through the stoplight, and the car came out, smacked the car, and I'm like, God damn! He went about 40 yards, hit the ground, foams flew off, gloves flew off, all that.
The one thing, I don't mean to cut y'all. The one thing that kind of deterred me from actually doing wheelies and all that on the street is that I want to go home. Okay, I want to go home. So, what's the purpose of me showing off? You know, what's the purpose of me doing something in the street that can possibly end my life? You know, so I had to make certain decisions while I was riding.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this to, you know, rub anybody the wrong way, but a lot of the folks that this is something that they teach in the class when you actually go for your, you know, that endorsement, that M endorsement. They tell you this is a luxury. You know what I'm saying? And it's a risk. You know, you're risking not coming home when you get on that bike. You know, so when you take that, and when you get out there, you suit up. You know, you put your equipment on, you put your helmet on, you got your gloves, you ready to go, you ready to ride. You know, you got to remember, are you going to ride to come home, or are you going to ride to not come home?
Yeah.
You know?
But you know the thing about it is the reason why I won't say that. It was a point where after I got on the club scene, and once I realized I was a speeder and not a stunner, you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, why niggas always be willing? They fucking it up for us and all this. But then I thought about it, and I was just like, I had met a good guy. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the main niggas out there who was sweet on the joint. Silver ZXT. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. I know exactly.
And, I had chopped it up with him. He was like, what's the difference, bro? He's like, I mean, you can run head onto the back of a car.
Yeah.
Speeding. He's like, it's the same thing, bro. It's just like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why even when I converted and went full track, I stopped trying to be like the goddamn track spokesman. Like, oh man, come to the track, man. The streets is dead. I was like, you know what?
Nah.
It's two things I'm not gonna do. One thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna steal somebody's chapter in bike life.
Right.
And two, the track days already cost a lot, and there be a lot of people there. So you go ahead and stay on the street, and I can maybe put down a couple of clean laps. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, I see it now. I don't really see as many bikes on the street. I seen they had shut this road down and shit the other day or last week or something. Yeah. But besides that, that's people coming from out of town. But besides that, I honestly think, and it is what it is, I think when the main folks who was running Harry S, who was running the S on 50 and all that.
Right.
Once us as a collective, once we stopped doing that, there was nobody on the street.
No, it wasn't. It actually
wasn't.
wasn't.
The bike night and shit was dying. With a bike, I mean, I think if Platinum Rollers would have kept the bike night, I think it was good. Whoever, two guys and a blowjob, whoever the fuck they were, when they took the shit over, I was like, what is this, bro?
Man, look.
I always called him that. I was like, what is this, bro? Like, bike night used to be the shit to me, man.
Actually, you know, I mean, let's go back a little further. Let's go back to Cranberries. I'm not even. I
wasn't on the scene of Cranberries.
Right.
I heard all the horror stories.
I'm gonna tell you, Cranberries was like, you know,
that's the Fridays and
Cranberries was look the Fridays in Greenbelt couldn't even compare to Cranberries. They had that whole parking lot lit. You know, and a lot of times they wouldn't even go inside the Cranberries. It was like that was the meeting spot. You know,
Greenbelt was like that too.
Right, and from there we go down Dower House Road. And, you know, whoever want to talk that smack, that's what we get. We take it out right there. You know?
Yeah.
That's where all the action was.
Why they shut the joint down?
You know,
just over time.
It's basically over time. I mean, state troopers really ain't bother us, you know? Back then, they really didn't bother. What they were more so concerned about is the guys getting in the street and holding up the traffic. That was basically, what it was. But, now, you can't go nowhere. Everybody got the race. Everybody got the race, man. You got dudes that that's one thing. That's one thing I wanted to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
These guys swear that, okay, if the bike is 1,000, okay, or above, it's fast. That's not necessarily true.
Are you fast?
Are you fast? Can you actually make that bike do what it's supposed to do? If you can't, you might as well don't even get on it. When we talk about injuries, I done seen folk get their bike license and go straight to a 1,000.
Remember it used to be a rule? It used to be like 600, 750, 1,000.
750, 1,000.
Unless you came up on a deal, you would get it 750.
Right.
It's like you always supposed to have that 600.
Always supposed to start with a 6.
I went from a 600 to a 1,000 only because I got a deal. I was looking for a 750. You know how long it took me to break that bike in? That shit was scary, dog.
Yeah.
And look, then took the bike to Myrtle Beach. I'm shooting off from the stoplight. I'm like, whoa, you on Willie? Don't do that.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I actually started with the CBR 9RR.
Okay.
But
I figured, you caught a deal though.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, by me being so tall, I couldn't just ride anything.
Exactly.
Everybody made fun of me, but you can make fun of me all you want to, but can you catch me? I made that very clear. You can talk about how tall I am all you want to, but can you catch me? You want to get out there? You want to get it? Let's do it.
You know what bike you'll be vicious on now? That R1. Let me tell you something.
Man,
Let me tell you something. I didn't watch it, man. I didn't watch people switch to that R1, dog.
I rode 07.
I rode it.
I did. I had an 07.
I'm talking about this new
one.
New cross plane.
Oh, jeez.
Listen,
man,
I rode.
You can't even tell me.
One of my guys I get my tires from, Alex Spellman. Shout to Alex. Mm-hmm. He had an R1M. I think it was 17 or something like that.
Right.
And he do the tires at the track and shit. So he don't really be riding. He getting his money.
Yeah.
And I think my bike, I had an issue with I had my exhaust rigged and shit. So the shit it blew off. So I was like, well, I'm done for the day. And he was like, why don't you come ride a real man's bike?
So he put you on R1.
So he came over. He said, no, I'm gonna put it on the warmers for you. Oh. And he was like, hey, he's like, just take it easy for the first lap till you get used to the power.
Right.
He started that shit up. I was like, I was like, my shit don't sound like this. Right. Man, I pulled up out the paddock. I had ill intent. They looking at me like, oh shit. So I had Mike behind me. So I was like, man, just follow me for a lap, man. Just see how I feel on the joint. So I come down the straightaway, hit the gas a little bit. I'm like, damn, this joint torquey as a bitch. Mm-hmm. But when I turned, it just dropped in the turn. So I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't used to that. You know what I'm saying?
Bikes are infamous for, man, they like light as a feather going into a corner.
And then he got the Motion Pro quarter turn throttle, but he got the hardest one on it. He don't got progressive. He got the all the way.
Yeah.
So I'm in the back section. So we come out of turn 10. I was like, oh, let me hit this motherfucker. I hit that shit. That motherfucker like, that shit just coming up. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
One wheel in that shit down the straightaway. I came in half the session. I said, nah, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
I walked away like, that's what these niggas riding. It's like cheating, dog.
Man, the power on that bike is unreal.
It's like cheating. Listen, I've raced against dudes on R1s, and I've watched them make costly mistakes, and the bike just go.
Yeah.
Let me come in turn 5 and come in too wide. I'm in the dirt. They come in just. And the bike is kicking right back over.
Yep.
And the power delivery, the bike, the best thing about the bike is the exit speed. Like the BMW is fast power-wise and top end.
Right.
The R1 is fast, period.
Right.
Especially if you do the ABS delete, the BMW, the brakes, out of box, BMW's brakes were the best.
Right.
I don't know what the 2020 is. But them R1 brakes, I mean, I'm just like, damn, you got better brakes and you bet out the corners? And it's lighter. That bike about 60 pounds lighter.
Yeah, I rode the Ducati 1098.
Well, of course, ain't nothing lighter than a Ducati.
Let me tell you, man, that's another bike right there that buddy of mine, his name's Carlos. He had that, and he had the Panigale. So me and him got out one day. You know, he told me ride his bike for him.
Carlos. That's old boy,
Yeah,
the welder dude.
Yeah.
I met him
you know,
before.
like,
I met him. I think he's supposed to be buying a V4 or something.
He's thinking about getting that V4.
I seen it in
we
action,
got out.
man.
Yeah, we got out there and rode one night, man, and he actually wanted to see if I could launch his bike.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, all right, okay. We got out. You know, we got out on Branch Avenue, right there at the Southern Miller Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We were going uphill.
Going up the hill. Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so while we were going uphill, so I went ahead and launched that bike at $7,000. Bike, all it did was tote. That's the one thing I've always practiced on any bike that I ride. Make sure I tote that wheel.
And what you mean by that?
All right, toting the wheels, it'll skip. Basically, skip the ground. It won't come up higher than
you talking about the front wheel?
The front wheel.
Okay.
Okay. So once I tote that wheel, if I'm on the ground, if I stay on the ground, I'm about to give you hell, because you gonna have to come get me then. You definitely gonna have to come get me then. But if I come up in the air, I done lost the race.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to let up off to get it. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Once I showed him that, it's like everybody now. It's like when you talk to these guys now about, you know, leaving at the line, especially with the experience of, you know, actual drag racing. You know, a lot of people don't actually pay attention to the ethics of drag racing. You know what I mean?
Mic up some.
So it's basically, you know, you have 60 foot. You have your 60-foot mark. You know what I'm saying? You got your 100-foot mark. You got your
Talk to me about drag racing. Talk to me about it on the professional standpoint.
I love it, man. I love it. You know, it's nothing in front of you but road. Okay, and you actually going against your own best time. You trying to beat your own time.
Yeah.
You ain't really trying to beat that guy that's beside you. Not unless, you know, you going to grudge or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you trying to beat your own best time. And if you lock in a time, you can't run past that time. You run past that lower than that time that you locked in on, then you pretty much eliminated yourself. Okay.
So you telling me that if I go, I mean, I don't know the times. You telling me if I run 10 seconds and I lock in, what do you mean? That's to say this is what I'm running?
Basically, what they have is called elimination, right?
Okay.
So you tell them what time you're going to run, right?
Uh-huh.
They'll easily catch you sandbagging. I shouldn't be talking about this, but but they can easily catch you sandbagging if you decide to run. You say my bike is a 10-second bike, right? You get out there, you run a 10:05. Come back, you get your little sheet, all right? Now, you done went to the next stage in, you know, in the races, because, you know, in eliminations, they have different periods, right?
Uh-huh.
So you keep going all the way down to see who's the last guys who's going to actually run, all the way down to the last two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So each time you get lower and lower and lower, if you actually put in a time lower than what, you know, faster than what you already started with, they'll come back and say, well, wait a minute, you started off with this right here. How's your bike running this right
so
here?
So that's under the assumption that you didn't put something on your bike?
It's basically under the assumption that you were sandbagging the whole time. You know
what
I mean? So don't get me wrong.
Running slow on purpose.
It may be folks that may not agree with me on this, but I mean, if you go back in the day, that's basically sandbagging, because if your bike run faster than the time that you actually posted, then you got people that's gonna come back to you and say, "Oh, nah, dog, you know good and well you ain't supposed to be in the top 5 or the top 6, left to actually race." So it's a little tedious, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially being out there with guys that are really, really fast. I remember leaving. I was on the 14, man. I remember gating this guy real good, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gone. I'm thinking I'm about to win. I happen to look back, and when I look back, while I was looking back, he was coming past me.
I follow this lady on Instagram. What's her name? Dynasty something.
Spurlock.
Yeah.
She's a beast,
She
man.
Is a beast.
She's a beast.
I be looking at the videos. I was like, he is into it.
Yeah, shout out to Crystal Dickinson as well, man. Her brother Ashawn Dickinson, Ricky Gasson. All these folks are very influential, man. You know what I'm saying?
I seen a couple of Ricky Gasson videos.
Yeah, him and Chris Moore, they going at it right now. You know, it's I can't wait to see that, man. Thinking about going down to see them, and I think it's supposed to be in South Carolina on the 15th.
I got a buddy of mine, man. He a drag race cartooner. I've been doing it for a while.
Right.
Young, he's my age.
Right.
Crew chief.
Okay.
He in it, and this is something that he grew up on. His dad used to race motorcycles, drag race motorcycles.
Right.
Now he got into the tuning aspect, and now, man, he'll go work for this team, go to that team.
Right.
How much? Okay, I'll be there.
Right.
And he winning too. Like just was somewhere last week, man, and they won. I said, man, he living the dream. Probably only one of the few people I know like say this is what I want to do when I grow up, and like doing that shit.
Right.
So I see it, man. He love it. I sit out there, but them bikes loud, dog. But
Yeah,
I mean, the best part for me is the burnout.
Yeah, burnout
I
box.
love the burnout, man.
Yeah,
I love the burnout. A good, just good, solid burnout, man.
Right, man.
But so just real quick. So let's talk about the preparation. You gonna do they call it track days? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you gonna do a track day. So what do you need? Is it similar to what I need when I go to the track?
Of course, you go through tech. You make
How
sure.
much is it
For tech?
for a track day?
For a track day?
Drag race track day.
Man, it all depends. Test and tune. Sometimes it could be 50. All depends on what you're doing.
For the whole day?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
Shit.
Yeah, that's it.
That's crazy.
But if you're doing an event, it can run from anywhere from $150 to almost $300, depending on what you're doing. How many classes you're in?
This is when you went trying to win some money.
Yeah. Man,
we get
and then these guys, they racing for points as well.
Yeah.
It ain't just just getting up there to see who got.
I get it. We do something similar.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. I shit at this point. I wish I had a drag race. You know how much it fucking. You know how much a race weekend costs?
Oh yeah.
Man, look, these races are the first race is $100.
Right.
Then every race after that is 70 or 80. So let's just say I'm an amateur.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I'm trying to go to expert.
Right.
Which means
you got to spend almost a G out there, man.
It's more than that. Listen, first of all, if you're going to expert, I think it's 6 or 8 races.
Right.
So let's hypothetically, you got to do all of them.
So that's all one price, but no,
it's
split up.
Can pay. You pay for what races you want to do.
Right.
So I only do 4 races.
Right.
I did 5 races once. I'm about to fall off the bike because I just was having muscle failure.
Right.
So I'll do 4 races. So I spent for 4 races, it was like $325 or something like that.
Right.
That's for 4 races.
Right.
This does not count gas.
Mm-hmm.
And this I ain't
don't
talking.
Count
listen,
gas, don't count tires.
I'm not even talking about the guys that's running the MR12.
Right.
Yeah, we're not talking about the guys who running that damn $130 gas. $130 for one full tank. We're not talking about that. We're not even talking about the tires.
It's actually more than that.
I think y'all gas is probably more.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's like almost 180 a can or something like that.
Yeah. So then you talking about tires.
Right.
Now, if you try to go to expert, that means you running. I mean, if you want to, whatever you running the stickiest tires. So if you running Pirellis, you running SC zeros.
Mm-hmm.
That tire is
last
maybe 1 to 2 races.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
1 to 2 races, and if you do the second race, you already don't even have your optimum grip.
That's pretty much like how
often you got to change the tires?
It all depends, man, because
y'all run. What kind of tires do they run?
They run this tire. I think now it's called I think it's a Sport Max.
Mm-hmm.
Drag Max.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
So will that last a day or?
No, that tire lasts maybe I say 6 or 7 meets, depending on what you know
that's
how much power you put in.
How many times you going 6 or 7 times?
Nah,
you going down?
6 or 7. Like if you go
events
in different events, right?
Shit, that's good.
It's good, but it's good, but it all depends on when it comes to drag racing, man, really, a lot of people don't pay attention to the elevation or the tracks because that actually affects that bike's motor, the times that you actually run, the motor, the whole nine. So you can go to Capitol Raceway. A lot of people don't pay attention to it. Capitol has a downslope because at the very end, it goes up. Buzz Creek is straight. You got me? It's just all flat. So next time you go to Capitol, just take a look at it. A lot of people don't really pay attention to it.
I sure don't. I just be
a lot of people just don't pay attention. They just look at me like, oh man, and you notice how the car's coming up at the end of the track, the cars going up. You know what I'm saying? So I always call that a cheater track. You never get your real times. You go out there, you want to just.
So what? I mean, in the area,
you go out there to practice.
Where would you go to get your true time?
Go down the creek.
Buzz Creek.
Go down Buzz Creek.
Okay.
You know, that's like one of the best. That's like the home track for everybody in DMV. You know, the Merlin boys fast. You know, that's my saying. And to me, all races start at 0. You know what I mean? Yeah. All races.
We thought about that. I was like, man, maybe we should try to go to the drag race to try to work on our launch. I was like, shit. Now all them damn people out there watching me.
No, you actually. I mean, if you incorporate that with what you do on the track, man, I'm trying to.
Dog, the launch is the most important part. I've been in the race and there've been guys in the back, and they didn't launch their ass right to the front and be gone. I'll be sitting there, and just be having to. My issue now is I spend majority of the race catching up to where I should have been.
Right.
And by the time I get to where I'm at, the race over.
Right.
So how long did you drag race for?
Oh God, man. Off and on from 2000 in the street, 2003.
No, I'm talking about actually like on the track, drag race.
Oh God, like I really started like in 2007, 2006, 2007, and couldn't stop. It's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
you are actually on that track. You ain't no cars around you, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that person beside you is actually pushing you to go faster because you want to get there before he do.
I know the feeling.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
I know the feeling.
At the same time, when you get down there, you get down to the end, you're like, yeah, I won. And you get back and you actually look at your time slip. Your time slip is telling you where you lacking. You know what I mean? So your 60 foot, a lot of people don't know this, your 60 foot is actually what wins the race.
The first 60 feet of the race.
That's what wins the race. Okay, that tells you what that bike is really going to do when you go down the track. If you're not cutting a good 60 foot, your reaction time could be great. But if your 60 foot some garbage, you might as well just go ahead and say you're gonna sit there. You're gonna be fighting with yourself the whole time. You're gonna keep trying to tune the bike to get to get it right. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it just comes with the program, man. Yeah. It's all in fun. But when you got competition. You dealing with a lot of competition, man, it's money. It's a money pit. It's a straight money pit, man. And a lot of people, again, a lot of people just, to me, I think it's better for the riders to actually speak up for themselves when they race as opposed to the people in the back that want to, put the bets up, so forth and so on. Because, the rider can get out there and be confident about what he's doing, but he's got so many other people on his shoulders. Like, man, you better win. I need you to win this race.
That mentally mess you up.
It'll initially, I don't care how confident you are, it will initially cause you to sit back and say, man, I gotta make sure gotta make sure I'm on it. I got to leave. I got to, launch got to be right. I gotta make sure everything's good. As soon as that light come down, man. When that light come down, if that bike break up, that tire break, you done. Race over. There's no way to pick it back up. No way.
I seen that, man. A couple folks start off. Next thing you know, somewhere they just cut the bike, just let it roll.
You break it, man. Once you break tire, race over. Race over. I don't care how you look at it. It could be the hottest tire, but if you, it's a game to everything, man. It's a game to everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like Call of Duty. You got dudes that'll sit there and, what we call it?
Camping.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is, but they're doing it right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So you got dudes that's in the back. You done heated your tire up. Now you up on the start line sitting, you waiting. Your tire hot. It's hot. And now it's getting a little warm. Now it got cold. You know what I mean? So now you sitting there and they done came up now. And they ready to go. You know what I'm saying? When that light drop, if that bike break tire, he done already got you. He already knows exactly what he gonna do with you. He was waiting for you to go. See, now they got it now where you gotta get in the burnout box together. you got to go up to the line.
I noticed that. It seemed like the cars will just kind of go whenever.
Right.
Now, I noticed the bikes go at the same time.
The bikes, they make sure the bikes go at the same time. Some guys, they got a little crew to come up there to kind of like, pause it for a little bit, make sure everything good, make sure they purge the nitrous line. Guys running out there with the tennis shoes on loose and tennis shoes fly off their shoes because the track's so sticky, holding up everything. But at the end of the day, it's all on that rider. Okay. It's really all on that rider, man.
That's good stuff, man.
And I one thing I actually learned about drag racing, man, is that it's not just about racing. Everybody's a family out there. Everybody's a family. Everybody's gonna help you. I don't care what's going on.
I think that's motorsports in general, man. That whole the paddock pit life area.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So you don't race now. What you doing?
Well, right now I'm getting into live broadcasting. This new generation of riders.
Tell me about that.
It's something that I think it would be good. We got a lot of riders here in the DMV. Good riders, hands down, good riders, man. I can name. If I could name them all, I would. But these guys, it's kind of messed. To me, I think it's not beneficial to us to keep racing ourselves in the state of Maryland. You understand? I think it would be better for us to race guys from South Carolina,
travel,
Georgia. If they come here, they know, okay, I heard this guy is nice on the two wheels. So let me see what we can do with this dude right here. And stop racing the same guy here at home. You race the same guy here at home, guess what? I mean, y'all gonna get tired of it.
I feel exactly the same way. I said this year I wanted to travel, to go to other tracks, just to kind of go back to the learning phase. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Summit.
Right.
Summit will always be my home track, but it's like I feel like if I go to Jersey or I went to pit race up in Pittsburgh, and I was like, God, I fell in love with the bike all over again because I had to learn.
You got to learn
all over again. You know what I'm saying? So if you say live broadcasting, you're gonna be like kind of like just going, or you just recording the races. You actually in the paddock. You talking to people.
Yeah, it's pretty much the whole thing. Just interviewing guys. Kind
of like a mobile talk show type.
Yeah, pretty much. So just so the ones that can't get out there and actually get to the race or see what's going on, they'll be able to actually see it either on YouTube, or on Facebook, or on Instagram, something, just to make sure everybody still gets that feel. Because, it's a lot of folk that may be sick that can't get out there, that want to be out there, to support their family or whoever that's actually out there racing. So you want to be able to give them that edge so that they can actually see what's going on, so that they can, if they don't have the money to get out there, to actually watch, this pandemic is, pretty much shut a lot of stuff down.
Surprised we even able to do the stuff that we doing.
Right. So actually being in an avenue of actually doing something like that to help these guys actually get out there, man, that's pretty much, to me, that's my gift to them. I'm not asking for nothing in return. It's just that when these guys actually see themselves, racing down the track, they're looking at it like, oh man, that's sweet, dude. That's sweet. Everything I record is in 4K, So it's clear. It's going to be really, really clear. Everybody's going to be able to see what they need to tighten up on while they're racing. Oh, nah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But at the same time, man, it's just, again, just to help get these this new generation of drag racers out here, man, because
got to keep the sport alive.
Yeah. Yeah, and the technology of these riders now, man, is completely different than how it was back then. It's you can run everything off a computer now, as opposed to back then you had to pretty much had to
do that shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, hey, let's get out there. Guys get out there, they want to do it. Different events. From here all the way down to Florida or over in Texas. Just different, just different, going to different venues, man, just to see basically who is the best, you know what I'm saying, and matching them up with the guys that we have here. You know, I don't want anybody to think that, you know, all we do is race our own folks here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's I really don't think it's good that we take money from, folks and everybody. Of course, everybody want to talk trash to each other. Mm-hmm. That's the fun of racing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the fun of getting out here doing it. But at the same time, you still got to remember that, these folks got to go home empty, pockets empty, because they didn't talk trash. Yeah. And you don't really feel bad at the time.
It'd be the next day. You'd be
but it's like, man, I took my man money and everything.
Look, man, give me a cash out, man. I'm gonna send you half it back. Don't say no more shit, all right?
Right. So yeah, man. My channel's already up. It's on YouTube. It's called Bragging Rights. Bragging Rights 2021. I got a couple of races, just to pretty much to let everybody know that this is what's coming up for 2021. So the race season starts in about a week or two.
So you recording the races and you doing you talk. So you recording and you doing like a commentary in between.
Exactly.
So this is a YouTube series.
Pretty much, man. So everybody will actually be able to go back and look, at their performance, at their everything, because everybody back in the day we used to put it on DVD. Now, it's
you got YouTube.
Yeah, you got YouTube now.
It's quick.
So you can go back and look and pause it if you want to, and stop and like, hey man, remember this part right here? Go to, 106 or something, you know what I mean?
Well, now even with YouTube, you can set segments.
Right.
You can set race 1 commentary with John Smith. You can set it like that. So if people just want to, it don't matter, because I think once you watch like 15 seconds of the video, it counts as a view. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you can set it that way. So where do you see this going? Like, you want this to blow up? This is just your personal hobby. You don't care. Like, I mean.
Oh no, I'm really looking forward to it actually blowing up, man. Because again, you have so many. I have not seen, and I'm going to say this. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I haven't seen a black-owned company or someone actually get out and do this. It's always a Caucasian guy that's actually commentating, doing so forth and so on. But when it comes to grudge, of course, we got the hype man out there, he getting everybody.
Somebody that's actually really out there.
But you just actually having someone out there to talk to each and every one of the riders, try to see what their mindset is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That'd definitely be good, man. Just kind of get in the minds like, hey, you just ran that, man. How you feel? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, do. Really have them really break down the the technical part of that.
Right,
shit.
exactly.
Good. So what's your plan to promote?
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you right. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna tell you right now. And when you fucking with this YouTube shit, when you fucking with social media, when you fucking with the algorithm, promoting will be the hardest thing you ever have to do.
Right.
When you editing and making videos and Final Cut Pro and your nice camera and all that, that's the easy part.
Right.
Getting people that you don't know to watch and like and comment and share is the hardest part.
Yeah,
that's my biggest struggle right now.
Yeah, I got
you know what I'm saying. My struggle wasn't to get you here.
Right.
It wasn't to make sure your whistle was wet. It wasn't to make sure you was feeling at home and we was having a good conversation.
Right.
My biggest issue after this, after I dressed it up real nice, have you take a picture, put it in black and white, have you send me a picture of you on the bike drag racing, dressing it up and putting episode whatever out there.
Yeah,
it is to get people to watch/listen. That's the hardest part of this whole shit.
Right.
Because everybody's doing something now. Like right now, YouTube is saturated.
Right.
Everybody is trying to, become famous, become rich off the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like you're not out here. You're not doing no reality TV shit. You're not out here making yourself look stupid. You're promoting a sport.
Right.
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
And the thing about it is by it being a sport that it's well known to folks. The IDBL is very well known. That's the International Drag Bike League. It's pretty much well known to a lot of folk, but at the same time, you don't really see video, live footage here, in Maryland. You really don't. I mean, if you do see it, it's like it's a Howtech, import versus domestic type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you don't really actually see, motorcycle drag racing. They really don't.
You might see some clips like from when it actually came on TV.
Exactly. So
you're right.
So it's more so trying to make sure that this is actually. I want to make sure that happens. I have people that are actually backing me to make sure this is done. Setting up, basically setting up a website. The whole nine. I may do a subscription. Who knows? It all depends. But at the same time, this is for a lot of folk that really don't have a way to get there. You know what I'm saying? And folks can go live, like when they do on Facebook, they go live on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that go live on Facebook, they may bet on Facebook.
Are you live right now?
Yeah, I'm doing a little live.
You been live the whole time?
Yeah, I've been live.
Nigga, you can get me in there too, shit. How we looking? No. I gotta say, how we doing? Shit.
But yeah, man, it's, again, just being able to actually do that because, you got, again, if they can't get there, they have an avenue of, okay, well, shoot, I can see this guy running this car right here. Or they'll stop in the middle of whatever they're doing. Like, hey, man, such and such is on, bragging rights. Let me go check it out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm speaking in the aspect of growing your following, growing your page, growing your listeners, your support.
Right.
Your biggest supporters are going to be total strangers.
Right.
I don't care who say, you my man. You my man.
Yeah, you're absolutely
That's
right.
something that took me, I'm 50 episodes in. It took me probably about 30 episodes to realize that my biggest supporter, and it's no disrespect. I mean, if I talk to you every day, damn, you got to listen to my podcast too. Right. You talk to me every day, shit.
Right.
Damn, nigga, I could just talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But man, like, I'll give you an example. Like these, we'll go back to Call of Duty. Like these guys on Twitch. The guys on Twitch, your Nick Mercs and them FaZe gang dudes. Them dudes Twitch and stream for hours, and they be on there kicking ass, and a random person just give them $500 or $1,000.
Right.
These are random people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, what you gonna do that somebody else ain't already done? That's gonna get me locked in on your page, and that is continuing to push good content. Right. So I'm just saying that to you is because there's gonna be times where you feel like, damn, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Ain't nobody looking.
Right. It's gonna be. It's definitely gonna be a challenge.
As long as you know that, like, if you listen, Kev on Stage made a video. You know what Kev on Stage is?
Right.
He made a Instagram video. And he was reading a comment from somebody, and he was just like, I'm trying to figure out how to make my podcast better.
Right.
And he said, you want to know the code? He said, you want to know the truth? He says, I need you to put out 100 episodes that potentially nobody will listen to.
Right.
He said, can you do that?
Right.
He's like, can you really sit there and try to be your best person, whether you being serious or you trying to be humorous or you trying to teach somebody something? Can you do that shit 100 episodes of setting it up, recording it, booking guests, editing, trying to promote, and no one listened to it? He said, can you do that? He said, that's what separates you from the other 90-something% of people who say, well, I'm gonna start a YouTube series. I'm gonna start a podcast.
Right.
And then 10 episodes and ain't nobody listening, they stop doing the shit.
Right.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah. So I mean,
when you have them days where you just drawing a blank, like, just take the extra time to put out the better shit. Don't just put nothing out. Well, hey, guys, I didn't go this week, but let's just nah. That's not what you do. You out there.
You still out there. So
you out there. You out there getting live shit. Don't get people no one-on-one time. That's not what you pushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta give. I mean, my thing is, having different angles. Different angles for the videos, man. So that actually everybody can see the races.
Different angles.
I mean, different angles, different emotions from
different angles winning. In between time. You know what I'm saying? Even your time commuting. Like let the people really learn your personality, who you are. They'll see your passion for the sport,
Right.
and they'll stick with you, dog. I'm telling you, I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen that shit. That's the best fucking advice I can give you. Is
Okay.
just whenever in doubt,
Good word.
keep
Good
pushing
word.
the content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Like trust me, I'm in a podcast group on Facebook, man. I see so many people, and
Right.
and everybody asks the same question. Hey, man, what are you guys doing to monetize? Hey, what are you guys doing to find more followers?
Right.
Everybody asks the same shit,
Right,
and it's the same answer. Keep putting the content out, bro. I don't know nobody who got 200-300 episodes. Ain't nobody listening to them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Now, granted,
people,
it's easier when you got multiple people with you.
Right.
But
right.
I just feel like it's scheduling. Hey, we try to do something today. Oh man, I got the kids. Or do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, you know what I'm saying? Because originally when I did this, I thought about doing it with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I was like, this was something that she pushed me to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? She was like, you should do that shit. Like, do it now. Until one day she's like, where the fuck's the podcast? You know what I mean? So I just, all right, boom. Went to Amazon, bought some bullshit, started. You know what I mean? Now, this is my therapy outside of motorcycles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know what's crazy, man? I definitely want to thank you, man, because I feel like I was really like kind of in a rut, man, with the motorcycles, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Things wasn't really clicking, man. You know, always kind of running into issues with the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know, not really getting where I feel like I needed to get. But I mean, it was a couple of things you said, man, that just kind of really just brought me back like, nigga, you got it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a lot of plans I had for this year, you know, I scaled back, you know, because, you know, my kids' sports, you know, want to travel and all that. But I'm like, as long as I'm still getting my time on the bike, man, I'm good, man. But,
yeah, man.
I definitely want to thank you for that, man.
Yeah, man. You know, everybody knows more seat time, you know, is something, you know, that comes along with the program. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? But, you know, if you don't feel it, don't push yourself. You know, ride your ride. Don't ride nobody else's ride. Ride your ride. You know, there's a lot of people that have went down from riding somebody else's ride.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's a rule of thumb when you get out there. If somebody wants to ride fast and you know good and well you can't keep up with them, don't sit back.
Hey, I'll meet you there.
Y'all know where you're going. I know where y'all going. I'll meet y'all there, you know? You don't want to go riding up the road and the next thing you know, yeah, well, y'all gonna meet me. I'm gonna meet y'all somewhere first, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't really want to do that, man. You just want to, you know, like I say, ride your ride, man. You know, on another scale, man, I gotta say this, man. This generation of riders, man, if I could go back, if I can really go deep, really deep into it for a hot second, man.
Go ahead. We at the end, but go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. And this is kind of a touchy subject, but you know, it is what it is. The old school, man, they did a lot. They did a lot to get these riders. You know, and you can quote me if I'm wrong. They did a lot, not just to get these riders to the point where it's easy for them to ride their motorcycles without being bothered by the police. Because you know, I think it was back in 2000. When did they do the no chase law?
It was before me.
Okay, so all right, early 2000s. You know, they come out with the no chase law, right? Now, you got this new generation of riders that are actually riding around taunting the police, knowing that it's not, you know, it's something that they can't do. So why ruin what the old school made possible for everybody to do out here without us being bothered? You know what I'm saying? You know, and it irks the mess out of me. These little youngins need to stop riding these little dirt bikes and four-wheelers. They get kicked off of them, and their parents crying, oh, you shouldn't have. No, well, basically, dirt bikes and four-wheelers are made for what they're made for, dirt.
The dirt.
It's made for the dirt. If you're going to ride your street bike, let you ride your street bike. If you want to do stunts, do your stunts somewhere where it's not impeding traffic.
They had that little parking lot joint that they used to go.
Yeah, man. Do that, man. I mean, if you want to do stunts, go try out for a movie or something. I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? Go try out for a movie. Do something over there. People want to go home, man. People want to go home. People want to rest. People want to, get up the next morning and not have to think about, this little youngin' was doing wheelies on the beltway, slowing it down, and, again, even with the motorcycles, you can get to the cars. You got these little youngins out here, the best-selling fast car right now is a Dodge Challenger, a Dodge Charger.
Scat Pack.
You know what I'm saying?
They love them Scat Packs, man. They love them Scat Packs.
It's like every youngin' got a Dodge, man. So I'm like, hey, y'all, find somewhere else to get.
I'm gonna take the hit on this too, man. I'm gonna tell you what I did, man, and then we're gonna leave it there.
Come on.
I know. So look, this was street track transformation, man. I had just bought some hot body ferns for the bike, and I put them on the bike, man. They was primed, like they wasn't even painted. They were primed up, and they was like, man, we about to go run Harry. I was look, I came out here, yes, man. I had full leathers on. I ain't had no lights on the bike.
Oh God,
I ain't had nothing on the bike. And I didn't have a belly panel. I just had the top on. I was just geeking just to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And we was running Harry. And my man was out of joint. I think the guy on another bike had bumped him.
Oh God.
So they had stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And the state troopers pulled up. This is right at the light on Harry. The light right there.
Yeah.
And we just kept running Harry.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking, we zooming. We at the stoplight. The state trooper right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we just like,
yeah.
We go by him. We ran Harry about 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there looking like, what are y'all doing, bro? What are y'all doing? It's like they about to get y'all. So next thing you know, somebody had an issue with their bike. So we stopped right on the opposite side of the street. So the troopers drove off and let him go. So he telling us to go. Man, before we even blinked our eye, they pulled up right in front of us. I was like, God damn. So I'm pissed. I'm like, why would y'all sit right here? Why would you sit right here, dog? Why would you sit right here?
It's a hot spot. So, you done already created a hot spot. Exactly. So why stay there?
So he come. He's like, why the fuck would y'all even be doing this? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, listen, everybody showed me legit documentation. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Man, he came over. He was like, "Who bike is this?" He's like, "Where's your lights?" He's like, "Uh-oh." I was like, "No." He gave me $200 ticket for no lights. No lights.
Yeah.
I drove home. Wally was like, "Oh, we gonna go to Blase Block Cookout." I was like, "Nigga, I'm going home." I was pissed.
But
I was pissed off at myself. But I deserved that.
Right, but you gotta remember. Everything that those folks did back in the day.
We was taunting them.
You know what I'm saying? Just getting out there taunting them, man. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I see a Fed roll up behind me and, he would, I'm cruising. If he hit them lights, he got to come get me. I'm sorry. I'm not stopping. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say that, but, still.
That's law. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not stopping.
It is what it is.
My face is on camera now, so it's
Yeah. I mean, but they don't know.
But I'm done now. But I don't do it no more. I mean, it's just something that I just don't even have in me to actually, just run like that anymore, man. There's no purpose in actually running. You know what I'm saying? It's really not.
No.
Because, of course, again, it's a law. It's a law now. They can't chase you. Now you go out to Virginia somewhere.
Yeah, look, you take your ass down the harbor like they did
matter
2
of fact,
years ago.
Matter of fact, you can go down Calvert County. They're coming for you. I don't care what they
chase down there.
Yeah, they chase out of there. But again, man, Prince George County, they're not supposed to actually chase you. And I really feel that in closing, I feel that these kids need to stop. They really need to stop taunting the police, man. I mean, you
stop fucking with the police, y'all. Please.
I mean, honestly, man. I mean, if anything,
look at the
I
camera.
gotta look at the camera. I gotta look at the camera and tell y'all gotta stop, man. This taunting affairs, man. I mean, let them do their job, man. Don't I know y'all know how to do y'all stunts, and I know y'all funky with it, but at the end of the day, man, we got all this Black Lives Matter and guns up, guns down, bikes up stuff, man. Let it be that. Don't get out here and get the fooling with these feds, man, because then you start seeing a whole bunch of stupid stuff happening and everybody's got a camera. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So everybody's going to record everything that they see, So, hey, do them stunts in the area where it's safe for you. You know, your parents don't want to bury. You know, everybody's parents don't want to bury their kids, man. These kids supposed to bury their parents.
Nobody wants to.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good message, man. So, got about 1 minute, man. What's your plans for the future? What you got going on in 2021?
Ah, man. Getting this thing off the ground, man. Getting bragging rights off the ground.
You know I'm gonna be on your ass. Let me tell you something.
Man.
Everybody that I bring on here that say, man, I'm starting something, I double check on that because it's like now.
Hey, man, look, you gotta remember, I called you.
Yeah,
I called you.
You know what I mean? Because I'm just like we in the same industry, so it's like and it's like I lean on people for like, oh, what you doing? How you do that? Show me how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show the next person, or if I come on, be like, look, man, I kind of want some shit to make life easier. Do this.
Right.
So definitely get it running. You already got it. Promote it, man. Listen, I'll get with you offline, man, about some promo shit, but promote it now.
Yeah, man.
Like, don't wait till you like start.
Yeah.
Start building that. Turn the oven on now. Let that preheat that shit now.
Yeah, man. I appreciate what you're doing, man, for all of us, man. You know, you're giving us basically a voice to, you know, sit back and talk about certain things, man, and that's important. You know, that's
I'll bring anybody on that I can have a good conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
that's really important, man. And you know, like I said, shout out to all the, you know, the racers in the DMV, man. Shout out to all the riders. You know, definitely platinum rollers. My man Heater. You know, Bull, all the good guys, man, out there, man, that's doing their thing. You know, 10 Man. Prayers for my man Sam, man. You know, he had a little incident, you know, actually last month. And
Sam?
My man, Sam, man.
We'll talk.
Yeah, well, you know, off the record, man. You know, that's a good dude. I knew him before the bikes. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know that's my buddy.
I just, you know, much prayers to him and his family. You know, speedy recovery for him. You know what I mean? You know, also shout out to my girl Black Widow. Yeah, that's family.
Real talk uncensored. I need to get on there.
Oh yeah, all day long, man.
Put the word in, get me on there. I'm trying to be on somebody's shit, man. But look, man, I definitely appreciate you coming through, man. Just spitting the wisdom. I consider you an OG in the game.
Appreciate it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You definitely blessed me with your presence. You came in, you came drink whiskey with me. We family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're going to wrap it up, man, before this camera cut off. And y'all cut off again. So, man, I don't know what I'm going to call this, man, but I'll let you know. I'm going to dress it up real nice and I'm going to put this shit out, man. Captain's Law Podcast, Big Twist. You know what I'm saying? We're going to holler at y'all, all right? Captain out.